Looney Tunes versus Looney Tunes. Before diving into the stranger glitches of memory, let's start with one of the most famous, Saturday morning nostalgia. For millions, the cartoon brand was always called Looney Tunes. It just made sense, didn't it? They were cartoons, after all. Kids remember the intro with Porky Pig stuttering at the end, framed by the red rings saying goodbye over the words Looney Tunes. But reality never matched that memory. The official title has always been Looney Tunes. Not Toons. Tunes. Like music. Why? Because Warner Brothers created this series as a parody of Disney's silly symphonies. The connection was musical, not about cartoons. Still, countless people swear they saw Looney Tunes. Some even claim their old VHS tapes prove it. But every poster, every reel, every copyright says otherwise. Looney Tunes. The human brain doesn't like mismatches, so it corrected the word on its own. After all, if they're cartoons, the spelling should be tunes, right? That logic stuck. Memory isn't a librarian. It's a careless editor, rewriting details until the copy feels more natural. And once that false version spread through repetition, playground jokes, doodles, parodies, it felt permanent. So next time you hum the theme song, remember, it wasn't the cartoons that lied to you. It was your brain, human, giving the title a spelling it never had. Curious George's Tale. Curious George, the mischievous little monkey who climbed into storybooks, cartoons, and childhood memories everywhere. And for countless readers, one detail feels beyond debate. George had a tail. Of course he did. He was a monkey. People remember him hanging from trees, swinging on a tail, or grabbing objects with it. They swear it was right there in the illustration. But here's the twist. Curious George never had a tail. Not in the original H.A. Ray books from the 1940s, not in the TV shows, not in any official version. George is tail-free. Always has been. The shock comes because our brains link monkeys with tails automatically. From cartoons to zoos, tails equal monkey. Without one, George feels incomplete. Some argue he looked more like a chimpanzee who naturally lacked tails. Others insist their childhood drawings or toys included one. But when researchers dig into old merchandise, they find the same thing every time. No tail. What's fascinating is how universal the false memory is. Across generations, across countries, kids grow up certain George had that extra limb. And when they discover he didn't, it feels like a personal betrayal. That's the Mandela Effect at its most playful. A children's character quietly rewriting your memory. Next time you see him balancing on a chair, remember, if you picture a tail, that detail was never really there. Kitkat, hyphen or not. Among candy bars, Kitkat feels unforgettable. That red wrapper, the snapping chocolate fingers, the jingle. Have a break, have a Kitkat. And yet, ask people how to spell it, and chaos begins. Millions remember a hyphen, Kitkat, with a bold dash splitting the two words. They swear they saw it on vending machines, Halloween candy, even commercials. It looked clean, logical. After all, two words separated by a break should have a break in the logo too. But reality cuts sharper than the candy itself. The brand has never used a hyphen. Not on the wrappers, not on the ads, not anywhere. It has always been Kitkat, one word fused together. The Phantom Dash is a creation of memory, not marketing. So why do people fight for it? Some argue it feels more balanced with the dash. Others insist they grew up seeing it printed that way. Nostalgia makes certainty dangerous. The truth is, the human brain loves patterns. Hyphens signal clarity, symmetry, and so, the mind inserted one where none existed. That false version echoed, and repeated memory became fact. Even now, online forums are packed with debates. I remember the hyphen, but evidence says otherwise. The next time you rip open the wrapper, take a closer look. If your brain sees a phantom dash between kit and cat, that's the Mandela Effect snapping your memory in half. Flintstones versus Flintstones. Bedrock's favorite family forever yabba dabba doing their way into history. But look closely at their name, and you'll find one of the sneakiest Mandela effects of all. Most people remember the Flintstones, just one T. A clean, simple spelling. They swear the opening credits spelled it that way. The lunch boxes, the cereal boxes, all without the extra letter. But in truth, it has always been the Flintstones, with two T's. Flint, like flint rock used for tools, combined with stones. The wordplay makes sense once you hear it, but memory doesn't play by those rules. Fans even argue online that their childhood VHS tapes or DVDs say Flinstones. Yet, every official release proves otherwise. So why the false memory? One theory says it's because the middle AT is soft and easy to miss when spoken aloud. Fred Flintstone slurs his own name. Another theory blames lazy eyes. People skimmed past the small letter and the mistake stuck. Once toys, ads, and quick readings reinforced it, the misremembered version became permanent. It's a single letter, barely noticeable, but it cracks open trust in your own memory. Next time you watch the opening theme, listen carefully. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. If your brain hears Flintstones, that's bedrock proof the Mandela effect is alive in your head. C-3PO's silver leg. Star Wars is packed with unforgettable details, but even die-hard fans miss one that's been on screen since the very beginning. C-3PO, the Golden Protocol droid. Everyone remembers him as shiny, entirely gold from head to toe. Ask people to draw him, and that's exactly how he looks. But look again at the original trilogy and you'll notice something odd. From the knee down, one of his legs is silver. Not gold, not shiny brass, but plain silver metal. It's there in A New Hope, standing in bright daylight on Tatooine. It's there walking with IR-2D2 across the desert. And yet, millions of fans never noticed. Toys often skipped the detail, coloring him all gold. Posters did the same. Even Halloween costumes erased the silver leg. So when fans discover the truth, they argue it must be a Mandela effect. But the footage is right there, unchanged since 1977. So why don't people remember? Some say it's because reflections on film made the silver blend in with the sand. Others believe the endless merchandise rewired memory to match the simplified golden version. Either way, the droid designed for etiquette and translation became one of the strangest examples of selective vision. Next time you rewatch the saga, pause and check. The galaxy's most polite robot was never fully golden. One leg always told a different story. Mona Lisa's smile, the most famous face in art, watched by millions each year at the Louvre. Everyone remembers her for that mysterious smile. But here's where the Mandela effect strikes again. Some recall her expression as almost blank, a lifeless stare. Others swear her smile was wider, almost playful, like she was hiding a secret. Arguments break out in front of the painting itself. One tourist insists the smile was different when they saw it years ago. Another swears it's changed even between postcards. But the truth is unsettling. The painting has never changed. Leonardo's brush has stayed the same for over 5 centuries. So why do people remember different smiles? Experts suggest it's because the Mona Lisa's expression shifts, depending on light, angle, and expectation. Stare long enough, and your brain completes the emotion you expect to see. A hint of shadow turns into a grin. A moment of focus makes the lips vanish. And once that personal version is locked in memory, people believe it was permanent. That's why the Mandela effect clings so tightly to her. The painting is both constant and shifting at the same time. Next time you stand before her, ask yourself, is she smiling, frowning, or simply smirking at how unreliable your memory really is? We Are the Champions. Few songs in history feel more anthemic than Queen's We Are the Champions. Stadiums roar with it. Fans belt it at the top of their lungs, and almost everyone remembers the grand finale ending with the words, "Of the world." It feels natural, powerful, perfect. The crowd sings it, sports victories echo it, even commercials parody it. But here's the twist. In the original studio version, that line isn't there. The song ends simply on "We Are the Champion," then fades. No triumphant "of the world." Millions of listeners are stunned when they replay the track and discover the ending is missing. So where did the false memory come from? Queen often added "of the world" during live performances, especially at Wembley. Those versions spread through broadcasts, VHS tapes, and highlight reels, cementing the alternate ending in memory. Fans who grew up on those live shows encoded them as the real version. But the record never changed. The studio cut is bare. And that's the Mandela effect, when repetition outside the source overwrites the truth inside it. So the next time you shout along at full volume, check yourself. If you're waiting for that final "of the world," you're singing a lyric that never existed in the original track. New Zealand's location. Not all Mandela effects are about logos, lyrics, or movies. Some warp the very shape of our world. Take New Zealand, ask people where it is on the map, and you'll hear answers that simply don't match reality. Many swear it's northeast of Australia, floating closer to Fiji. Others place it directly to the west, like a twin island beside the mainland. Some even insist they learned in school it was north of Australia, near Papua New Guinea. But in truth, New Zealand has always been southeast of Australia, tucked below the continent, closer to Antarctica than most people realize. Yet millions carry a different map in their heads. Why? Geography isn't something most memorize with precision. Combine fuzzy school lessons, inaccurate globes, and endless pop culture maps that simplify details, and the brain fills in the rest. Once that false version sets in, it becomes the real geography people defend passionately. That's why online communities overflow with arguments. Maps don't match memory. The Mandela effect isn't just cultural, and it's global. So, human, here's the question. Which of these effects fooled you the hardest? Drop your answer in the comments, and let's see which memory glitch reigns supreme. And if this dive into broken memories fascinated you, subscribe for more. Because even if history doesn't change, your memory will. See you in the next video? Area 51. Deep in the Nevada desert lies the most infamous patch of restricted land on Earth, Area 51. Officially, it's just an Air Force testing site. Unofficially, it's the birthplace of every conspiracy you've ever heard whispered in a late-night form.